Good morning. My name is Simon Ennis, and I'm speaking to you on the 3rd of October with today's Wake Up Well. I hope you're all okay. And the first question I want to ask you after that is, what's your name? So the subject that we're moving into now is identity and sonship in Jesus. And the disciples were very privileged to be able to spend some time face to face, as it were, with Jesus. And he taught them lots of lessons, and some of them wrote them down. And the passage that we're left with, or going to read from today, should I say, is from John 15. And the key verse is verse 15. But Jesus is actually talking to his disciples, and the well-known passage, I am the vine and you are the branches. But he develops that illustration to say how we're grafted in to the bloodline, if you like, of God. Wow. And Jesus says, I am the vine and you are the branches. But then he starts to talk about, he tries to clarify it for them, like people like me, like Simon Peter. And yeah, what's your name? What's your name? So he says that I have loved you, starting at verse 9, even as the Father has loved me. Remain in my love. When you obey my commandments, you remain in my love, just as I obey my Father's commandments and remain in his love. I have told you these things so that you will be filled with my joy. Yes, your joy will overflow. This is my commandment. Love each other in the same way I have loved you. There is no greater love than to lay down one's life for one's friends. You are my friends if you do what I command. I no longer call you slaves, because a master doesn't confide in his slaves. Now you are my friends, since I have told you everything the Father told me. You didn't choose me, I chose you. I appointed you to go and produce lasting fruit, so that the Father will give you whatever you ask for using my name. This is my command, love each other. So at that time, the disciples would have known full well what it was like to be a slave. And, a rabbi or a teacher would have followers, and they wouldn't be quite on a level par with the master ever. Not that I'm saying I'm level with Jesus, but what Jesus is trying to say is he's going back to heaven. If they stay in tune with him, if they take on all the things that he's teaching them, how to relate to the Father, how to be in the Father, they become different. They're no longer slaves, they're friends, they're part of the family. And you could say that when we get baptized, we're dying because we need to take on a new name. And that name will be Jesus. The same name is Jesus. So I am Simon, the Christ, of Christ, maybe. I am Simon, Son of God. And so you can develop that thought. And because we have that intimacy, and because we are like Jesus in some ways, many ways, we understand, we get that conversation going on between us and the Father, and it's via the Holy Spirit. And so we get to know more and more about what the Father's doing, how the Father loves, how the Father loves us, how the Father loves other people. And yeah, it's a key verse, isn't it? You are no longer slaves, because the master doesn't confide in slaves. You are my friends. You are my buddies. And you are my adopted family, Jesus is kind of saying. And so, yeah, you're no longer just an also-ran. You are a new creation, a son, an adopted son of the Father.